don't know the person's specific motive yet, but we do know a few truths.
Are you sure about that?
Well, we've got an arsonist on the loose, guys. Remember how all the lefties were fine that Tesla dealerships were being set on fire and they didn't want to condemn any of that? And then somebody was like, looks like we got an arsonist on our hands, Abe, to add to the other arsonist. Notice how the left-hand side was totally fine with your Tesla vehicle being set on fire, your neighborhood Tesla dealership being firebombed, because it's just property damage. It's totally fine. And then a lefty governor's it's not even his mansion, by the way. It's the people's mansion, but the governor's residence gets set on fire, and they're like, you maggots did this to us. I'm not condoning setting somebody's house on fire. Don't do stuff to people's houses. Don't graffito people's houses. Don't steal people's houses. And don't set people's houses on fire. I'm just noticing an inconsistency with the left-hand side when it's, politically convenient. Anyhow, of course it was a maggot that set Pennsylvania Democrat governor mansion on fire, right? He doesn't look like that doesn't look like a Donald Trump supporter. No, it's definitely a Donald Trump supporter. Gateway pundit Harrisburg man who set fire to Governor Josh Shapiro's residence, charged with attempted homicide, terrorism, arson, and burglary. Whoa, Abe, look at that. Look at that. Wow, law and order does work. When you firebomb a place, and it's a Tesla dealership, Chucky Schumer doesn't care, Nancy Pelosi doesn't care, AOC, none of these people care, right? Then a governor mansion gets firebombed, and all of a sudden it's attempted homicide, it's terrorism, it's arson, it's everything. Don't get me wrong, that's what it should be that way all the time, by the way. It should be that way all the time. But it's not. That's where all that works. It's almost like the left is being facilitated and motivated towards setting on fire the things that threaten globalist policies, Democrat policies. That's weird. Couldn't possibly be, boys. It's not like we could be run by a bunch of criminals. That would be impossible. Criminals emboldening other criminals. Say it ain't so. Well, don't be a victim of this. Today's sponsor for this show, Home Title Lock. You want to make sure that these criminals don't set your house on fire, but more importantly, don't steal your house out from underneath you by switching your title. Explain. Who's going to steal your house, by the way? As you've got these lefty criminals completely emboldening a bunch of criminals. They take one document, they go down to the county offices, they register, they just transfer your home title into their name. Once they do that, they off, man. And you're not even going to know until you go, hold on a second. When did I take this loan out? You didn't. They did. You don't want that, boys. Get that triple lock protection. Make sure you know that your house title is in your name. You don't want anybody messing with it. They also got their $1 million triple lock protection. It helps keep your home and equity safe. Here's what you get. 24/7 monitoring of your property. Urgent alerts if there are any changes. And if fraud should happen, their U.S.-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix this fraud and restore your title at no additional cost. Here's the best part. I've teamed up with Home Title Lock to give you a free title history so you can find out if it's already been hijacked and hoodwinked by a goofball. You don't want that. Make sure that you're not already a victim, and access to your personal title expert, a $250 value just for signing up. Go to HometitleLock.com. Use my promo code SALTY250 as a $250 value saved to you. SALTY250. Or click on the link in the description box below. That's HometitleLock.com. Promo code SALTY250. Get the protection and peace that you deserve. Thank you, Home Title Lock. So back to this totally for cereals. Donald Trump supporter burning down this governor mansion because they found a red MAGA hat guy at the crime scene. What? Did you also find his passport? Did his passport survive the fire as well? And did his passport say, "Go Trump"? Probably, right? Idiots. Anyhow, dude, that guy's 38, by the way. That's a rough... It is very difficult. Trying to align the propaganda jammed through your ear holes with the actual world when you're a lefty. And that dude, is he on meth? Wow. Not even once, boys. All right, hard knock life. 38-year-old Cody Balmer, He's been arrested and charged with multiple felonies, including attempted homicide, terrorism, aggravated arson, burglary, following the morning arson attack on the Pennsylvania governor's residence. Yeah. And these are the charges that you should be hit with when you do it to a Tesla dealership. Yeah. When you do it to a Republican's office, you've had a number of Republicans in their official offices have been firebombed. Doesn't even get reported in the news. No. This place got torched up big time. And so what you got over here is that the left-hand side, the right comes out and says, well, this is probably going to be a lefty because, again, the only people firebombing stuff are lefties. The left comes out and says, well, it's a Trump supporter. Why? Well, there was a Trump hat at the scene. There wasn't a Trump hat at the scene. This is just something these idiots on X and TikTok, all these social media accounts are just screaming just the world's dumbest propaganda. Nowhere does it say that they found a red MAGA hat. Nowhere. No, the police report, nobody has said this. But it's bias confirmation and it's proliferating on left-wing social media. Here you have a man who doesn't like anybody, by the way, except for lefties, like Bernie Sanders, AOC, that Yang dude, and whipped cream. But this is, he's a Trump supporter. He's a Trump supporter. Yeah, why? Biden supporters shouldn't exist. This is what Cody Ballmer's saying. Don't arrest me, FBI. Where were you his first run? Well aware of the trash he is. As for the second, still know what scum he is. Now, why'd y'all forget? Yeah. Okay. He doesn't like Biden. More proof to our point that the election was fortified. I don't even know what the rules are. Are the rules still on YouTube that you can't say that this was a shenanigan election? Is that still the case? It would be wild, by the way, because the left is all screaming that Trump is obviously hijacking elections, right? Leave it to YouTube to be completely left-wing inconsistent, right? Of course they would be. All right, so there you go. So he doesn't like Biden. I'm not surprised. None of you idiots like Biden. Biden has no support. None of these. Kamala doesn't have any support. Clinton didn't have any support. They fortify elections. Guys, you left-wing morons didn't even get a primary. They stole the primary. They just handed it to Kamala. You didn't even get a vote. This is something. Hillary Clinton snaked Bernie Sanders twice. He then came out and campaigned for her. Yeah, idiots. Yeah, he's still a left-wing nut job. You know why? Because he's a radical leftist. Yeah. Just because he doesn't like Biden doesn't mean he's a Trump supporter. Far from it, by the way. Far from it. Matt, you moron. Here you go. That's how I know he's not a Trump supporter. He's a wild left-wing Antifa lunatic. He firebombed a governor's residence. I know he's a lefty. Look at him. Just because he doesn't like Biden doesn't mean that he's a Donald Trump supporting MAGA individual. Idiots. We don't set stuff on fire. We build stuff. Well, I guess we kind of set Snow White on fire, guys. But we built up other channels so we could watch that instead of Disney movies. We build. Anyway, so here he is. Happy National Felons Day. Yeah. Happy National Felons Day. He's politically, look at, here you go. He doesn't like the left. He doesn't like the right. But he likes the lefties who pretend that they're not lefties. Right? So you guys keep getting got by that. This Elizabeth Warren, this Yang, AOC, Bernie Sanders. Oh, they're not real. They're not lefties like the establishment lefties. No. Trump's the real deal. See, they tried to float a whole bunch of Republican turds into my cereal. And I was like, no. I want the one that you guys all hate. And then we turned the Republican Party inside out like a xenomorph deep inside the chest cavity, bursting out and saying, this is our party now. Now we run things. And then you guys on the left-hand side flip out. The guys on the right-hand side flip out. That's how I know that Trump's the real deal. Nobody cares about Yang. Nobody cares about AOC. They all promote AOC. The media loves AOC. The media loved Yang. The media loves Warren. No, you're just going to get got by some more idiots. But he hates Trump. He hates Trump. He's at all of these protests for Palestine. This dude probably loves Hamas as well. Who knows? But he's clearly a lefty lunatic. And he just firebombed the house of the governor, boys. The house of the governor. So, to nobody's surprise, except for lefties, I guess, who are adamantly trying to say that this guy's a Trump supporter. Even though, no, he just doesn't like Biden. He just doesn't like Biden. Again, nobody likes Biden. Us, lefties, nobody likes him. But there you have it, guys. Make sure you protect your house. Protect your house from lefties. Protect your house from criminals. Protect your house from people stealing your title from behind your back. Get home title lock protection today. Check the description box, the docs and the box down below. And if you want to be kept up to date with left-wing terrorists that the lefties are now ashamed of, hit that subscribe button and make way because the salt must flow.